Well, we just got seeing the Chernobyl Diaries. Now, Gina and Dweebo, they didn't go. That wasn't their kind of movie. They went to see What to Expect When You're Expecting.
That's right.
I wasn't that interested in seeing that one.
No, I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. It seems like one of those like PG-13 kind of like you have a lot of great talent, but you kind of tone it down to the PG-13 crowd.
Yeah, I think that was pretty homogenous.
Now, this one we should start by saying from the trailers, a lot of people thought that the Chernobyl Diaries was like a found footage movie. Because you know how the trailers kind of made it look like it was like someone shooting it? They kind of just shot it in that. The whole movie was shot handy-cam, like Steadicam.
And it gave me a little bit of a stomachache, to be honest.
Yeah, and they kind of, even though it wasn't a found footage, a lot of times it had that vibe.
A little herky-jerky for my taste.
Yeah, I don't know if it had to be shot all like that.
I don't think it did.
And like some points when characters would walk off, then you wouldn't see where they went. So it was almost like you only were seeing the main. It was weird how they did it. They kind of made it found footage when it was no way found footage.
Yeah, I agree.
But it was a group of these friends. They one went to see their brother who lived in Russia, and I think he was going to visit, but he decided he was going to live there.
Right.
So they went there to see him, and the brother who lives there found this weird tour.
Sort of a screw-up brother.
Yeah, he was a screw up.
Yeah.
And he found this tour group that goes on extreme
Like
tours
extreme tours, yeah.
in Russia, and they go on a tour, with this guy. Now the tour guide, in my opinion, was the coolest character in the movie.
The tour guide was cool.
Yeah,
he was actually like a ex-paramilitary guy.
Yeah.
I think he was a cool, and I wish he would have been in more of the movie.
Yeah, like that's what it always is. Was like the characters you want to see more of always aren't for one reason or another.
Yeah, exactly.
But he was the coolest thing in the movie. But
Yeah.
they basically go on this tour, and when they first go there, I guess he has some kind of an inn and normally can get in with the guards. But
They
then
should have just turned around.
yeah, and then the guards are like, oh, they won't let him in, and he's like, oh, they said that, and they was just saying how they're doing testing or what were they, some kind of maintenance.
It's like, what the hell are they fixing? Because
So-
the place had been closed down for years.
Yeah, like 20 years it's been abandoned. So he's like, oh, I know another way in.
Right.
So they go in this backwoods way.
Right.
And let's just say by going in there,
Not
they
smart.
get in. It wasn't smart. There was there's reasons why they weren't allowed in.
Right.
But why they're there though, like basically things they start hearing things, and well, first when they go in, I will say there was a really cool setting.
Oh, that's the upsetting part. The pacing was really nice.
And the tone was good.
In the very beginning, I thought, ooh, this has real potential, It had that kind of dirty, grainy vibe, and, that was what was so sad to me. I mean, they obviously secured this location. It looked like it was the Ukraine or something. I don't know where they shot it, but it was like everything was like patinaed and dry brushed and aged, and that part of it was really, really cool. And then it was like, okay, this is looking really, really good. And then
it made some weird choices with stuff.
Out, and it was like, I understand why you don't show everything. I mean, less is more, but there was way too much less. And then when you did see something, it was that typical thing that you'd expect.
From like a wrong turn.
With putty on the nose or the oversized head. It's like, why can't they, if you look up Chernobyl and look at some of the images of the actual deformities, I mean, they could have cast people that actually had issues that would have been really amazing and really scary. Because it was a little bit like thalidomide, people lost arms and legs. There was all kinds of birth defects that is very, very scary. Not the putty on the head kind of typical, wrong turn approach.
And I thought too, surprisingly too, there was very little gore in it. For a movie like this, it's that kind of thing. There was it was almost PG-13 in some areas.
Almost like it was.
Like almost like when they were making it, they were thinking, could it be a PG?
Almost like that's what it was.
Making a PG-13 movie.
But it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't. I mean, this is supposed to be an edgy piece of work, and it was supposed to be something that, there's so many other movies out there. I mean, look at those old school movies where they had soldiers that were zombies and
shockwaves and stuff,
where they came up out of the water. I mean, there was so much potential there, and the potential, they didn't live up to the potential.
No, they didn't.
It didn't live up to the potential on so many levels, that it really should have. It should have worked, but it didn't work.
I also thought too, a little bit of the acting was a little bit kind of sketchy with a couple. I got a few different sequences. It just wasn't perfect.
I know. It was slightly disappointing.
Yeah, but all in all, I did like it though. I did think it was worth watching, but don't go into it thinking you're watching a masterpiece.
Right. Well, and a lot of people just said how laughable it was. I didn't really think it was laughable.
No, I didn't think it was that funny.
Yeah, okay,
It was.
we knew that what was going to happen. Yes, I anticipated a lot of the scares and whatnot. But, you know, I've been to a hell of a lot worse than that. I've been to things that just, you know, were so bad that it was like totally laughable that people were laughing the whole time. That wasn't the case in this theater.
No one like.
No.
I think if you went with certain types of groups and stuff like that, but you know maybe some people would be a little rowdier. But this, I don't. It wasn't that kind of one.
The disappointing thing was that there was this beautiful location. There was this cool idea that just didn't have enough meat to it. You know, it's
no,
like,
and then I'm not going to say the end, but when you get to the end, you're like, oh, okay.
well, you know, if you're going to do something like that too, and you know, like I love movies with gas masks and sort of apocalyptic stuff, and you know, they really could have pushed that whole end further. You know, the thing that you recommended to me, that was the best thing I've seen in a long time. That
Perfect Sense.
Perfect Sense.
That was
I
great.
mean, you know, forget this. Put your money, you know, go. I guess you can. I don't know. Can you get it at like Blockbuster and stuff?
You
like
probably
that?
can get it. I think it's on the Red Box. I think I saw DVD of it.
Man, do yourself a favor. What a beautiful movie. I mean, beautiful and sad. But what was it called?
Perfect Sense.
Perfect Sense with McGregor and the girl from Johnny Depp's movie.
Yeah, the dark.
Who was really cool in that movie.
Yeah. But all in all, though, I would say, you know, it's definitely, you know, see it, but no, not a big rush.
No.
And you could even wait to see it on DVD or
This
Blu-ray.
could be a good rental or DVD. I mean, you know, it could have been so much better.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the last word. And I guess out of ratings, out of 10 stars, people like, I give it maybe 5, maybe half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really couldn't give it that much higher.
No,
it'll be something I watch again, but not very much.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So I'll see you guys later.
Okay.
Bye.